The field of artificial intelligence is developing rapidly. The United States has a strong AI chip computing power. Most of the high-end AI chips in the country are procured by NVIDIA and AMD. The United States has frequently resorted to export controls in an effort to prevent the development of artificial intelligence in China. This time, the Americans pulled the wool over Biden's eyes when he suddenly announced an upgrade to the ban on chip exports that sent the trillion-dollar giant tumbling. Biden suddenly announced an upgrade to the chip export ban in an era of technological innovation and competition. Semiconductors and artificial intelligence chips have become the core focus of the global economy and science and technology. However, as the value of technology applications continues to grow, the control and dissemination of these advanced technologies has also triggered a series of international disputes. Biden's surprise announcement of an overhaul of export controls has been a recent hotspot. In the past few years, China has made remarkable progress in artificial intelligence technology and semiconductor manufacturing. Not only in R&D efforts, but also in market share has made no small breakthroughs. The United States, as the world's technological hegemon, is naturally on high alert. The United States has long been relatively cautious about exports of key technologies to China, a concern that has intensified in recent years as relations between the United States and China have become more complicated. Against this backdrop, the Biden administration has decided to update its export controls on artificial intelligence chips, a policy change that will no doubt increase tensions between China and the United States in the high-tech sector, but it also reflects America's determination to protect its technological lead. The United States Department of Commerce Gina Raimondo has issued a formal response to speculation about the new controls. She pointed out that the export control update is not a comprehensive blockade of China, but top-load loopholes. She explained that the new restrictions were not aimed at a blanket ban on semiconductor exports to China, but only at advanced semiconductors that were seen as having the potential to drive a military breakthrough in AI technology. The new restrictions will affect only a small portion of chip exports to China. Raymond added, even after the rule change, China will import 1/0 worth of semiconductors from the US. In addition, chips used in consumer products such as gaming consoles or smartphones will not be subject to export controls. This is clearly an attempt to quell a possible overreaction to the policy change. The trillion-dollar giant plunged, and the market reacted. The Biden administration's decision to renew export controls has had a huge impact on global markets, especially in the semiconductor and AI chip technology high ground. Several representative technology giant stock prices suffered the direct impact. This policy adjustment not only reflects the two superpowers in the technical field of the game, more directly affected the dynamics of global capital markets. Markets reacted immediately to the news. Shares in NVIDIA, the world's biggest graphics processing unit maker, fell nearly 5% on the news. The decline, which narrowed in subsequent trading, was the biggest since December and ended down 4.7%. Like NVIDIA, semiconductor heavyweights AMD and Intel were not immune, falling more than 2% and 1.7% respectively. NVIDIA, in particular, has been hit particularly hard. The company's A800 and H800 chips, as its core products, have been explicitly included in the category affected by the new export controls. This means that the future sales of these two products in China will face great challenges, and given the huge potential and existing market share in China, there is no doubt that NVIDIA has a big impact. But NVIDIA was not unprepared. In fact, this kind of policy risk has been widely anticipated in the industry in the past period of time, and many companies have already prepared measures in advance. NVIDIA issued a formal response. We comply with all applicable regulations while trying to provide thousands of applications that support different industries. They said, given the global demand for our products, we do not expect a material impact on our financial performance in the short term. This is undoubtedly a comfort to the outside world, but also shows its optimism about the future. In addition to NVIDIA, Dutch photolithography maker ASML has also responded to new chip restrictions in the US. They point out that while the potential impact of the new rules needs to be carefully assessed, the number of Chinese mainland chip makers that are really affected is small. More importantly, ASML stressed that it will communicate further with US authorities to clarify the specific scope and impact of these new regulations, countermeasures and prospects of domestic manufacturers. Domestic manufacturers have long been determined to prepare in advance to make a response strategy. In fact,
亚马逊这些互联网大佬，微软也没有例外。值得注意的是，微软的自研芯片在今年11月即将上线。美国这次亲自把英伟达和